Welcome to the Ville, Yankeeville. Welcome everyone back to the channel. If you're returning here, thank you for coming back. And if you're new here, at the end of the video, if you like it, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Well, let's get into the video. The biggest surprise so far for the Yankees has been none other than Amed. Obviously, going into the season, Amed was added towards the end part of the offseason, just on a one-year deal. Obviously, he's been a guy that we picked up middle of the season last year as a platoon guy, a guy that's going to hit lefties. You're going to play third base or wherever you need him, second base. He can play the outfield. He can kind of play anywhere. It's more so like a utility guy that really masters lefties. But this year, Amed has really held his own, and it's been really good to see him hit and produce and give this lineup a spark that we've needed. But so far, through 19 games out of 26, because obviously he was intended to be a platoon, but he's been in the lineup a lot more than intended. He's hitting .269 with 4 home runs, 13 RBIs, and .868 OPS. That is really good numbers to get out of a guy that you'd even expect to be in your starting lineup more than just hitting lefties. The man has really performed. He's won multiple games single-handedly from his bat. I can name at least 2 games, just single-handedly, hitting home runs, driving guys in, and just being a spark in the lineup. Amed he's been our X factor essentially. His platoon stats are pretty surprising. As you would think, like I said, he's been a guy that's been brought in over his history in the league to hit lefties. He does hit lefties. He does tend to hit lefties a lot better than he does against righties. But against left-handed pitchers this season, he's only hitting .240, 2 home runs, .870 OPS. And against right-handed pitchers, he's hitting .296 with 2 home runs and an .866 OPS. So he has pretty much flat splits, which is a very good sign that we can play him against righties as well. He's actually hit a little better against righties, at least average-wise. The OPS is pretty much the same. So Amed is more than a platoon guy. He's not just hitting lefties, he's hitting righties as well. So that is a very good sign. And Ryan McMahon, it's not a good sign for you. I mean, obviously, Amed is not as good of a defender, but the man's offense is really speaking right now. The man almost has a 900 OPS. He's hitting about .270. He is hitting for some power, so it's definitely a good sign. Like I said, Rosario has outperformed Ryan McMahon. Granted, outperforming Ryan McMahon to this point in the season hasn't taken a lot. Ryan McMahon really hasn't hit. Granted, he is one of the best defenders at third base, but Ryan McMahon at one point he was hitting like .60 at the plate. The man just was in an immediate cold streak to start the season. Obviously, he has hit a few home runs since. He has, hit a few line drives up the middle, granted, but he is still hitting about like 150, 160. He's not very good at the plate at this point, but Rosario has outperformed him offensively. Now, when we go to Baseball Savant to kind of compare the two, Amed Rosario, his Baseball Savant shows a lot of red. Rosario has been good offensively. I mean, granted, batting run value, he is in the 62nd percentile, so that's pretty good. Base running value, it's a little below average at the 35th percentile. We don't need Amed Rosario to be the greatest person on bases, so we'll take that. Fielding run value, like I said, he's not as good of a defender as Ryan McMahon, but that's not what we're expecting out of him. We know that he's going to have some opportunities in the field, but as long as he can be average to slightly below average, we'll live with it. Batting wise, xWOBA, he's in the 93rd percentile at 410. Expecting batting average, he's in the 90th percentile at 296. Expected slugging, he's in the 97th percentile with a 624. Average exit velo, he's in the 78th percentile, 91.3 miles per hour. Barrel percentage, 83rd percentile, and so on. There are a few categories where he is average or slightly below average, but his K percentage, he is only striking out 15% of the time. That's really good. It does help the Yankees lineup that does have a lot of guys that do strike out over 20-25% of the time, so it is refreshing to see a guy that only strikes out 15% of the time, and he's in the 82nd percentile in the league. Walking percentage, he does only walk about 6.9%, so that's a little below average, but he does make a lot of contact. Fielding, like we said, his range is a little on the low side, actually very low. He's in the fourth percentile. It is very early, so he's at a -3. Hopefully that does increase over time. We have seen him make some good plays, and we have seen him make a few errors, so it kind of depends on, just the progression there. Hopefully Rosario does hold it down, and he hasn't killed us so far at third, so there's no complaints. Granted, the numbers do show otherwise, but definitely going to see how he continues to hold it down defensively. Sprint speed, this is very surprising. He's in the 86th percentile. I don't feel like he's that fast, but I guess Baseball Savant disagrees here, so we'll definitely take it. Now, when we go to Ryan McMahon, a lot of blue. I mean, granted, we do see some red. We do know Ryan McMahon does hit the ball hard when he does actually hit it, but there's a lot of blue here. Batting run value, 36th percentile. Base running value, 34th percentile. Fielding run value, he is above average here. Granted, he probably should be a lot higher than this, because his defense has been known to be very good. So I think that's pretty down as far as compared to what he normally is. Batting, a lot of blue. The only red that he does show is exit velo. Like I said, when he does hit the ball, he does hit it hard. Barrel percentage, when he does barrel it up, he does hit it hard. Hard hit percentage, he is 98th percentile in the league. When he does make contact, it goes places, but it's a question of if and when he makes contact. Walk percentage, he does have a pretty good eye. As far as, walking, he is walking in the about 90th percentile, about 16% of the time, but he does strike out a ton. So it's either walk, strikeout, or a home run. He's a pretty true outcome type of player. He is striking out over 30% of the time at 31.7%, and he's whiffing a ton. Like I said, it's if and when he makes contact. He's whiffing 33.3% of the time, 11th percentile in the league. That's very, very bad. So Ryan McMahon, his approach at the plate so far has not worked, and he's only hitting 151 with the 550 OPS. Not very good. And then the running wise, sprint speed, he's in 11th percentile. Ryan McMahon is not a very fast guy, but these numbers, as far as with the Baseball Savant, they don't tell a really good story when you're comparing the two players so far. Rosario is running away with the starting position at this point, and Ryan McMahon is not doing a whole ton to really negate what we're really going to anticipate his role on this team. Like I said, Amed Rosario at this point is our X factor. He's overcome expectations. Obviously, his expectation was just to be a platoon guy. He's come more than that. And when you compare the two, Rosario is our offensive guy at third base. Ryan McMahon has came in late in the game, 6th, 7th inning, to kind of play more defense. And that's what Aaron Boone right now kind of has Ryan McMahon doing. We have played a ton of lefties so far, so Amed Rosario was going to be in there regardless, but we played Rosario against righties too. But can Rosario be the long-term answer at third base? I think he can. If he does keep up this production, I think maybe this production does dip a little, but his career average, at least batting average wise, is in the 270s. OPS, he is about, I believe, 710 to 720 in his career. So the OPS may come down, maybe towards the high 700s, or if he does maintain it, it stays somewhere in the 800s. Depends on how much power he is producing. He has 4 home runs, and how many doubles he's producing as well. How much slugging is he going to produce in the lineup? So far, he has slugged pretty well, but we're definitely going to see what Rosario can do offensively at the position. Defensively, there is opportunity, but right now we're looking for a stable bat in the lineup, and he's bringing that more than Ryan McMahon to this point. So Amed Rosario has been a very, very big surprise, and I don't think Yankee fans are complaining about having Rosario outperform Ryan McMahon at this point. The fans love him. I love what he brings to the clubhouse. I love what he brings in the lineup, and I root for him every time I see Amed Rosario in the leadoff spot against the lefty or even against the righty. So I will not complain. I'm always going to root for our players, and Amed Rosario, he's been playing. So congrats to Amed, and I'm going to continue to root for him. But let me know what you think down below. How do you feel about Amed Rosario's season so far, and how do you feel about Ryan McMahon? How do you feel he is going to adjust to kind of what role he is right now, and how do you think this third base position is going to pan out towards the end of the season? But thank you for watching the video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and welcome to the Ville, Yankeeville.